it's a human being that is
Yeah.
absolutely wounded. And once I knew about his backstory, himself being abused,
Right.
then it's like, okay, now we are cooking with gas, as you say. And now we are creating somebody that really uh uh is bringing something into his own story that has a horrible effect on other people's stories.
Right.
Based on his education, the way he was raised, the way he was treated as a child. So that was the part that really got me to say, okay, I want to play this because now I can understand where all this thing comes from.
Yeah.
Not to justify or excuse on any of the horrors that he was accused of, but also for me to be able to portray it.
Dad, Eric and I just...
We know you had to leave work, and we're sorry.
I want to tell you how much we appreciate it.
Fuck! Take the fucking car!
Stay away from me, please.
Hey.
Welcome to the actor's side. Today, he's won an Oscar, 7 Goya Awards, which are the Spanish Oscars, a BAFTA Award, a Golden Globe, and that's just a drop in the bucket. He has been nominated for the Golden Globe and SAG already as José Menendez in Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. This is Javier Bardem. Welcome to the actor's side.
How are you?
Yeah, how does that sound when I reel off all those awards you've won in your acting career? Nice.
It's like really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your generosity. I don't know if I deserve them, but I will get them.
Yeah.
Get me wrong.
No, and already on José Menendez, you're getting nominated for this quite a bit, and you know, it's such an interesting show, I thought, because I know growing up here in LA, not far from where all this went on, I know what I thought about it, but it gives you another perspective on the humanity, I think, particularly of Jose and Kitty and everything.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I talk about with Ryan, because Ryan Murphy, it's like, first of all, I didn't know much about the.
You didn't really know this.
It was not that famous in Europe,
Yeah.
or in Spain particularly. So I have to dive in, and then once I saw who Menendez brothers and the case was about, I was kind of reluctant. Like, okay, because abuse is a very heavy stuff to portray, and it really depends on how you want to portray it.
Yeah.
How specific you want to be, and I discussed that with Ryan, and Ryan said, "Don't worry, I'm not interested at all in going into the darkness of it. It's actually about what is the version that those two brothers did, and shared with us and the world, and what will be the version that the parents could have based on what we know, and the research we did.
Different point of view in the series. Absolutely. And is that difficult to play as an actor, because you have to measure it based on what we're looking at.
Yes. Not difficult. That was the fun part of it. Like, I have to play somebody that it could have been maybe guilty of those accusations, or who cannot, or maybe he wasn't.
Yeah.
And that's good, because you have to change, and you have to really be more flexible depending on whose eyes are watching you.
Exactly.
And that's the fun part, rather than playing somebody that is really locked on what we know for sure.
I love the breadth of your performance, because there are scenes where he's just knocked down, drag out, screaming and everything. And then a lot of quiet too. A lot of a different perspective too that you got to play here. So it wasn't just one. This guy's a monster. Show's called Monsters, but he's not really a monster. Yeah,
I mean, it's a human being that is sorely wounded, and once I knew about his backstory, himself being abused,
right.
then it's like, okay, now we are cooking with gas, as you say, and now we are creating somebody that really uh is bringing something into his own story that has a horrible effect on other people's stories,
right?
Based on his education, the way he was raised, the way he was treated as a child. So that was the part that really got me to say, okay, I want to play this because now I can understand where all this thing comes from. Not to justify or excuse on any of the horrors that he was accused of, but also for me to be able to portray it.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, this series has just set off a whole thing. It's living in the news every day, even now, and they may get a new hearing trial.
Yes.
It's an ongoing kind of controversy. Some people say no. Our new DA doesn't seem to be in favor of it, but others are, the governor. Yeah. What do you think about where this is going?
I'm not sure where this is going, but I think they deserve to be heard. This is in the second trial, all the evidences about the sexual abuse were denied. And that was a huge part of what they were bringing into the table to expose their case. So I think that should be elaborated now with new evidences that apparently they have, and in the time that we are now, where we understand clearly and more openly and more profoundly what sexual abuse is to males as well.
Yeah.
Because back in the days, those things were like, no, those things don't happen to men, which is absolutely crazy to think about. But that's part of the education at the time. Like, no, those things, you cannot be raped by your father. I mean, and if you are, you should be silent about it.
Right.
It's horrible, but that's part of the education that we were raised with. And the world has changed for better in that sense. So I think they deserve to be heard this time.
Did you get a chance to meet with them, or did you want to meet with them? Or...
I didn't have a chance. And there was a moment where I was asked if I would like to. And honestly, I thought, I don't think I want to sit down with them. And first of all, because out of respect, honestly, listen, first of all, let me dive into the material myself. Ryan Murphy and Ian Brennan did a great research. I got everything that I needed in order to create more or less the idea of how to perform them. But I didn't want to be, I guess, I wanted to be sensitive to their story. They are in jail. They committed a horrific crime. I didn't want to sit down in front of them both to tell them, okay, I'm gonna play your father. Something weird for me.
Yeah.
I'm not like it will bring so much horror to them, I think, or no, I don't know, horror, but difficult memories, or it would be very uncomfortable for me also. Like, what would I ask them? Because I know what they think. Yeah, no. So I don't need that. That I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need any juicy details of anything. So it's like, no, let me play the José Menendez that has been researched, and I'll do my version. And since one of the great things about the show is that we don't know for sure anything.
Right.
So we have to give different options for the people to understand how complex it is to come to a conclusion.
Exactly. Do you like the limited series format as an actor, as opposed to making a 2-hour movie or something?
For me, it's my first TV experience.
Yeah, right?
I was kind of scared, like, okay, how is this going to be? Like, is it going to be fast pacing? Like, am I going to have time to really play the scenes, or is it going to be like, go, go, go?
Yeah.
And what I found, I have all the time that I needed. The crew, the team was amazing in every aspect. And I had the chance to work with more scenes and situations and dialogues, and to dive in even deeper in the character. So I loved it.
Well,
that's why I'm doing Cape Fear now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like I want to do more where you have the time to expand your
Yeah.
character rather than be limited to 2 hours.
you're the De Niro.
Yeah, Mitchum.
Mitchum.
Those are
You're the bad. That guy's bad. Of course,
yeah,
anybody's seen No Country for Old Men, you know.
those two shoes are big to fill.
Yeah.
Mitchum and De Niro.
Those are big shoes.
my
to
God.
fill.
Oh my God!
Did
And
you think about that? You know, you want me to do that?
Absolutely. I was like, no, I don't. I can't do that. But then two things happened. One, I saw the approach they're doing. They are like it's a new version of it. Martin Scorsese and Steven Spielberg are producing it, so they're on top of it, and it's a new take on it,
Okay.
a different one, based on the same story. That was one thing. The other thing is when I was talking about the project with people from 40 years old down, they haven't seen the movie.
Ah.
And I go, really? Go to your house.
Oh my God.
And watch that movie because it's a masterpiece.
Oh, the first one scared me to death.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
black and white,
Absolutely.
and Polly Bergen, Gregory Peck,
Mitchum.
amazing.
And the second one, it's a
Oh,
masterpiece.
absolutely.
So, but I thought, oh, that's interesting. There's a lot of people that haven't seen, that don't have that movie as we had as an iconic movie.
Right.
So it's interesting to do it for them as well, to bring a new version to them, as Scorsese brought to us,
Right.
from the version of the 60s.
Yeah. Of course, I mentioned No Country for Old Men, which brought you your Oscar. One of the most iconic villains and scary people.
Who will tell? Who would say that? I wasn't I wasn't expecting that to happen, honestly.
Really?
No, I was lost in Texas, Marfa, Texas, and New Mexico without a horrible haircut, killing people with a cattle gun. Like, what am I doing here? While the brothers were laughing their asses off, just killing people. It's like, where is this all going?
Yeah.
How it happened to be a good movie?
Yeah, it was a very good movie. You know, it got you a bunch of those awards I mentioned, you know, and, you know, you've had many nominations, including playing real people. Like you're playing Jose Menendez. You got nominated again for Academy Award for Desi Arnaz and being the Ricardos. You also played Pablo Escobar and things. Is there a different vibe when you're playing somebody who's either dead or alive, you know?
Yeah. Yes, and let me tell you, for me, it's about what that person represented in the world. If he was there, if he was here to do something good or bad. I played Ramon San Pedro and Reinaldo Arenas.
Yeah.
They both were beautiful people that create some change for the better.
Right.
And then I guess unconditional, you open yourself to be taken by that person, wherever that person is. Like, please bless me to be you.
Right.
For 2 months or 3 months, please. And that's what you do as an actor. Try to invoke that spirit some way, in somehow, by your work. But when you play Pablo Escobar or Jose Menendez, honestly, I don't want to be taken by anybody. So it's like, let's just do the job and forget about it when I go back home. I don't want to be taken by anybody. Thank you. No. Not needed this time.
I would think, and I talked to you when you did, and I thought it was incredible, that whole show, and Nicole as Lucy and you. I thought that would be the scariest thing, because that show's never gone out of circulation. We watch it all the time. Every generation watches Desi Arnaz, and you did such a good job.
Oh, thank you so much.
Playing him musically as well, which might have been the hardest thing.
For me, everything was hard because also we didn't have much time to prepare. It was the peak of the COVID, the pandemic time.
Oh, right, I know.
Yeah, and then it was very difficult for us there was no rehearsal. Everything was doing through Zooms, as we all know, and it was kind of a tough moment for preparing such a big movie. And in my case, being singing for the first time with the teachers and the music people through the Zooms and playing the piano, I couldn't hear, like, what was that? So for me, it was, I'm not going to be able to do this in such a short period of time. It was a month of preparation, month and a half.
Yeah.
But it happened. And I learned a lot in that process of saying, okay, you are going to climb this huge mountain and you are not ready. All right. You're not ready for sure. let's just do step by step. Let's just do line by line, chord by chord, song by song, and let's see where we get. And it happened that finally we get to the top of it, and with the amazing help of Nicole Kidman as a partner, amazing actress, and Aaron Sorkin, which gave me so much confidence and so much. He was super supportive of me from the beginning, and when I wasn't really sure if I could make it, he was there to help me and to take me by the hand. He was very, very supportive.
Even right there in their early movie, probably not many people have seen Too Many Girls, and and right through the thing and the whole marriage, it was so good.
Thank you.
I have to ask you also about singing, because since then I loved Lyle Crockett.
Yeah, I loved it.
And there you're now a musical performer.
That's only for movies. They can edit my singing. Like, okay, let's take one note here. Let's put that. He said, when I did the Ricardo Solai Crocodile, I always admire a lot the Broadway musical actors and actresses, but after that, even more. Like, how can you manage to be singing, dancing, and acting 6 days per week, 6 or 7 days per week? How do you do that and be healthy? And be healthy in the sense that if I do that only one day, I would be like in the bed, like resting for a week. It was a great process. I loved it. And Lilac Crocodile is one of my favorite processes and movies. I did it for my kids, but I did it for children. And when some little ones come to me like, I saw Lilac Crocodile. Can you do something for me? I go, yeah, man. I do my crazy stuff and they love it. And it's like, it's so rewarding for me.
It was good. I loved it. The world of family movies and kids movies. You also did Little Mermaid and Spellbound as the animated.
Yes.
You also were musical.
And with Renee and Nicole as well.
Yeah.
And Renee, I mean, she's a marvelous actress and singer. I mean, the way she sings is like, really? Am I going to be close to her singing? Okay, but I'm playing a monster again, so it's okay if I don't have the voice. Okay.
A couple of things. Of course, Dune. Yeah. Now, you did the first Dune, didn't have that big a role in it, but then Dune Part 2, Stilgar comes to play.
Yeah. That was fun. And I love Denis. It's such a great person and director, amazing. I'm always saying that when we were shooting Dune 2, this huge movie, and we never felt it was a huge movie. He made us feel like we were doing an independent alien little movie.
Wow.
Because the way he shoots it, like you don't see the machinery moving along with his heavy things. It's more like, okay, let's do this, let's play the scene, let's try different things, let's get the camera, let's go to the dune, and then when you realize you see it on screen, it's like, wow, we were doing that? Yeah. It's amazing. And that's because Denis really knows how to
He's a genius.
Protect the actors so they are not overwhelmed by what it means to be on screen.
And then when you see the movie, though, you go like, what?
I saw the movie with my kid. He was 12. And when I ride that worm, he stood up and he said, that's my father. Yes, finally, some respect to the father.
It only took Dune.
Exactly.
Are you going to be in Dune Part 3?
Yes, hopefully, yes. Okay. Hopefully, yes. I mean, I read the book, and I think I have something there. Yes. Yeah, it's not much, but something that it's enough to make a good closure.
Very cool. Yeah, a trilogy that we're getting with the Dune movie.
Very honored to be part of that amazing trilogy.
Oh, so good. Yeah. And you also have a huge summer movie coming out here, F1, Formula One, with Brad Pitt on the racetracks. You play Ruben, who is a former driver and now sort of the boss.
And for the good sake of everyone, I don't drive.
You don't drive it.
The only question that I said, the first question is, do I have to drive? No, so I can do it because I'm so bad at it. Yes, it's again, it's one of those movies that is like crazy. I wasn't, and I'm not really a huge crazy fan of Formula One.
Yeah.
But I try to learn as much as possible about the world, and being on those circuits and knowing a lot of drivers, and it really made me understand the complexity of that sport. It's in a sport. For those drivers, it's huge, demanding physical situation to be in those cockpits, don't you say?
Yeah. And you went to the real tracks and things. You went
To all of them.
all of them, right?
That's why it took so long, because
Yeah.
and also the strike happened in the middle of it.
Right,
So
yeah.
we have to wait, and then we went to all of them, and Brad and Danson were driving the real cars on the real circuits
Wow.
for real. It's like I was like, I remember the first day I saw Brad going vroom. I said, what do the insurance say about that?
Yeah. Well, exactly.
And the answer was, what insurance? Okay, I got it.
Well, Steve McQueen did it forever, and they became like, and Paul Newman.
Absolutely.
I mean, that they went beyond the movie and then they just started racing.
But the driver that was teaching Brad and Danson said that aside for the Formula One professional drivers that he knows,
Yeah.
those two guys are the best drivers that he's seen.
Wow.
So they are amazing.
This is something to look forward to. Joe Kosinski is the director. He just did Top Gun Maverick, a great director.
Great director, great fun to work with him.
Yeah.
And he really is like moving things fast. Fast in the sense that you don't feel, again, the weight of such a big production. It's like, okay, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah.
And it looks amazing. It looks like a roller coaster.
Wow. I know you're out here because your wife, Penelope Cruz, is doing a movie now, a comedy. We love comedies.
Yes.
And are you going to work with her again? Because you've made so many movies, beginning with Aman, and years ago.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to do this movie with Florian Seller. It's called Bunker.
Uh-huh.
We're shooting in late this year.
Uh-huh.
It's about a married couple. And it's about a lot of things, but the writing is so exquisite and so specific, and the situations that he creates, Florian, with his writing, is so unique. But for an actor, it's like you're watering, like wow, what a great situation to create. That has to do with more towards the world that we're living, in the sense of lack of privacy and being owned by some technocrats, technological people up there that really do us wherever they want. And I play this architect that is being asked to create a bunker for one of those huge trillionaires. And then there's this ethical response to it. Like, I don't know if that's something that I want to do.
Amazing.
But yeah, I mean,
can't wait.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
A lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff
from Javier Bardem. And if you want to watch him in action on Netflix right now, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story is streaming away. And thank you so much for joining us on the Action
Always a pleasure
Side.
to be with you.
Thanks, man.